Black CEO went undercover at her company by end of day. She fired the entire team. The boardroom was a glass cage, sleek and sterile, perched on the 42nd floor of Sterling Enterprises' downtown tower. Maya Jackson, the company's first black female CEO, stood at the head of the mahogany table, her tailored suit crisp but her heart pounding like a war drum. She'd built this company from a startup in her garage to a tech giant. But today, she wasn't the polished executive the world knew. Today, she was Lila, a new hire in customer service. Her identity cloaked to uncover the rot she'd suspected for months. By noon, she'd seen enough to know her empire was crumbling from within, not from market forces, but from the poison of prejudice. Maya had heard whispers. Complaints of unfair promotions, hushed slurs, and cliques that excluded anyone who didn't fit the mold. As a black woman who'd clawed her way through elite circles, she knew the sting of bias. But Sterling was her creation, her dream of a place where talent trumped skin. So, she went undercover, trading her corner office for a cubicle, her title for a badge that read, Lila. She dyed her signature braids a muted brown, wore glasses, and spoke softly, blending into the background. For 2 weeks, she listened, watched, and documented. What she found wasn't just bias, it was betrayal. Her first day as Lila, she overheard Mark, the team lead, mock a black colleague's accent during a break room chat. Sounds like he's rapping his reports, Mark sneered, to chuckles from others. Maya's jaw tightened, but she stayed silent, noting names. By day 3, she saw Sarah, a senior manager, bypass a qualified black applicant for a promotion, whispering to a colleague, "He's not a cultural fit." Day 5 brought Emil's accidentally forwarded to her, joking about diversity hires being tokens. Each incident was a knife, but Maya kept her cover, her notepad filling with evidence. The breaking point came on day 10. A client call went south and the team needed a scapegoat. They chose Jamal, the only black coder in the room. Blaming him for a glitch Maya knew was Mark's error. Jamal's eyes burned with quiet rage as he took the fall, his colleagues piling on. Maya, as Lila, tried to speak up, but Sarah cut her off. Newbies don't get opinions. That night, Maya sat in her real office, staring at the city skyline, her hands shaking. She'd built Sterling to lift people up, not tear them down. The team had to go, but not without a reckoning. She called an emergency meeting for Friday, summoning the entire department. As CEO, she stood before them, no disguise, her presence commanding. The room fell silent, faces paling as they recognized her. Mark shifted uncomfortably. Sarah's smile froze. Maya held up her notepad, its pages a map of their sins. "I've been among you," she began, her voice steady but laced with pain. "As Lila, I saw who you really are, and what I saw disgusted me." She recounted every incident. The slurs, the scapegoating, the promotions denied for no reason but skin. Gasps rippled through the room. Some looked away, others tried to protest. Mark stammered, "It was just jokes." Maya's eyes blazed. "Jokes don't destroy lives. Your actions did." She projected the emails onto the screen, each word a damning verdict. The room was a pressure cooker, tension thick enough to choke on. Then came the twist. The door opened, and in walked Clara, the janitor who'd cleaned the office for years. Maya had confided in her during late nights, seeking an outsider's view. Clara, a soft-spoken woman with graying hair, had seen everything, every slight, every whispered slur. She'd kept her own notes, her own quiet rebellion against the injustice she'd witnessed. "I saw good people pushed out," Clara said, her voice trembling but firm. "I saw folks like Jamal work twice as hard for half the respect. I told Ms. Jackson because someone had to. The room froze. Clara, invisible to them, had been the final piece of Maya's puzzle. Maya's voice softened, but her resolve didn't waver. Sterling was built on fairness, on merit. You've poisoned that. Effective immediately, this department is terminated. Gasps turned to shouts. Sarah stood, face red. You can't fire us all. This is unfair. Maya stepped closer, her gaze unyielding. Unfair? Tell that to Jamal. Tell that to every person you diminished because of who they are. She paused, letting the weight sink in. You're not victims. You're architects of your own ruin. As security escorted them out, Maya felt no triumph, only grief. She'd lost a team she'd once trusted, but she'd gained clarity. Sterling would rebuild, but differently. She called Jamal into her office that evening. I'm sorry, she said, her voice breaking. You deserved better. Jamal nodded, his eyes soft. We all did, but you saw us. That's a start. Maya offered him a new role, leading a diversity task force. He accepted, a spark of hope in his smile. By Monday, the news broke. Black CEO fires team after uncovering racism. The story went viral, sparking debates across X and beyond. Some called Maya a hero. Others said she'd overreacted. She didn't care. She was already planning Sterling's future. Mandatory bias training, transparent hiring, and a culture where no one felt invisible. Clara, too, got a promotion not to a corner office but to a role training staff on respect, her wisdom now a cornerstone. Maya stood at her window that night, the city glittering below. She'd torn down a piece of her dream to save it, and the weight was heavy. But she knew one truth. Change started with seeing people really seeing them. Sterling would rise again, not just as a company, but as a beacon. What do you think? Did Maya's decision serve justice? Or was it too harsh? Share your thoughts on X and join the conversation about fairness and accountability in our workplaces.